Dear learners, welcome you all. Now we come to the last week of this course on principles of landscaping and gardening. This week is all about ornamental plants. So let's start today's lecture which showcase different types of ornamental plants. Ornamental plants are plants that are grown for decorative purposes in garden and landscape design projects as houseplants, cut flowers and specimen displays. The cultivation of ornamental plant is called floriculture, which forms a major branch of horticulture. Ornamental plants are grown for the display of aesthetic features including flowers, leaves, scent, overall foliage, fruit, stem and bark, and their different aesthetic form. In all cases, their purpose is for enjoyment of gardeners, visitors and the public institutions. Moving forward to the classification of ornamental plants, as we know, the orderly grouping of plants based on their resemblance is called classification. Like other individual groupings and naming of plants started in primitive era based on their different uses in different cultures of the world. Ornamental plants can be classified into different groups are as follows. The first type of classification is based on their life cycle, and in this type of classification they are classified into three groups: annuals, biennials and perennials, in which the first one, the annual, completes life cycle, that is seed germination, growth, flowering, seed formation and die in one growing season of year. They require replanting every season. These plants mostly grown through seeds and are commonly called seasonal, like China aster, coreopsis, gomphrena, verbena and zinnia. They add colors to the any garden. Next type is biennials, which complete their seed to seed life cycle in 2 seasons or year. Usually, most of the temperate seasonal are biennial in nature, complete vegetative growth in one season and flowering to seed formation in another season or year, like we can see amaranthus, celosia, hollyhock, pansy. All these are the examples of biennial plants. Last type is perennials, which have a life cycle more than 2 years and produce seeds of flower every year once the bearing starts. They do not require replanting. Perennials are usually categorized into two groups. The first one is herbaceous perennials. These includes plants with soft and herbaceous, that is non-woody main stalk, like anthurium, bird of paradise, periwinkle, perennial balsam and sweet violet, viola, geranium. All these are examples of herbaceous perennials. Second is woody perennials, which are mostly trees, shrubs and vines. They have woody stems and branches like Cassia simea, Cassia biflora, Lawsonia alba, Hibiscus rosa sinensis and Quilcalis indica, Veronia, Cassia fistula. These are the examples of woody perennials. The next type of classification is based on ornamental characters. Ornamental plants are divided into 4 groups according to their intended use or application. These are outdoor ornamental plants, cut flowers, indoor ornamental plants and flower bulbs. Outdoor ornamental plants have outdoor market applications, used as ground cover or for the outdoor decoration like areca palm, shrubs or ornamental grasses. These plants are either trees, shrubs, seasonal annuals and perennial plants and are maybe ornamental grasses. The next type in this category is cut flower, which are flowers, buds, branches and leaves used in baskets, buckets, wreaths and arrangement. These plants are used in fresh and dry or bleached form like rose, chrysanthemum, orchid, gladiolus. These are the examples of cut flower plants. Indoor ornamental plants are those species which grown and marketed in pots or various containers for indoor use and decorations like African violet, begonia and cactus. These are the some common examples of indoor ornamental plants. The next, that is flower buds or geophytes. They are plants that maintain their vitality with bulbs, tubers, corms or rhizomes under the ground after completing their vital activities with their above ground parts, leaves, flower and stems. The example are these flower bulbs are Easter lily, iris, tulip. Another type of classification is based on market value, in which first type is loose flowers. They are harvested without stock and used for making rangoli, gajra, veni, garlands and offered for worship at home as well as religious places. The examples of these plants are Burleria, bedding dahlia, chrysanthemum, lotus, marigold, rose, shoe flower, sunflower, water lilies. These are the examples of loose flowers. We can see here the images of Burleria, wedding dahlia, lotus, water lily, which used in the creation of rangoli, which is a pattern created on the floor or a tabletop using flower petals. Gajra is a flower garland that is worn by women across India during festive occasions, weddings, and garland a circular or spiral arrangement of intertwined material such as flowers or leaves. Another type is cut flowers. Fresh flowers, flower buds or spikes harvested along with their stalks attached to the flowers. Examples like bird of paradise, carnation, gerbera, helisonia, orchid, rose. These plants mostly used for buckets and for vase arrangement, as we can see here the images of bird of paradise, gerbera, helisonia and carnation, which used as cut flowers. The next type of classification is based on flowers yielding value added products. These flowers used as raw material in industries for the extraction of essential oil, sand for preparing edible products such as gulkand, rose water and pigment as natural colors. Gulkand is a sweet preserve of rose petals believed to come from India. They are also used as dry flower such as they are also used as dry flowers such as acrolinum, jasmine, marigold, rose. As we can see, these plants are used as dry flowers while rose used as dry flowers as well as it is used in the production of gulkand. Moving forward, the next type of classification is based on ornamental plants and their applications. Ornamental plant may be used in variety of other ways both indoors and outdoors, and they are classified as first one, that is cut flower, refer to the flowers starting to blossom or flower buds that are cut with stems, branches and leaves to used for buckets or decorations. Based on applications, ornamental plants may be used in variety of other ways both indoors and outdoors. They are classified as cut flowers. Cut flowers refer to the flowers starting to blossom or flower buds that are cut with stems, branches and leaves to be used for buckets or decorations. Cut flowers are further grouped into two categories: fresh cut flowers and non-fresh cut flowers such as preserved flower or dried flowers. Next, based on application is potted plant. These plants are adapted to indoor conditions and for home and small gardens. They are grown in containers, usually slow growing and mostly foliage plants. Some flowering plants also used as potted plants. The next type of plant is bedding plants. They are annual plants raised from planting outdoors in flower beds. It starts from sowing seed indoors in the off season and transplanted later in the growing season. The hanging plant baskets are plants, either annuals or perennials, flowering or foliage rows in decorative containers. They are hung by elegant or stylish ropes from the ceiling in the patio or in the doorway area from decorative plant poles. They add variety in the garden as well as into the indoor spaces. The next type of plants are dried flowers. These are flowers which are used after being dried for different occasions. These flowers are dried using different preservatives. They add beauty to the indoor spaces of the homes. The next type of application of plants is landscape plants. Plants which are grown in the outdoor or garden for beauty, which are further classified as lawn and ground cover. Lawn is an area of grass grown as green carpet, as we can see in the first images, which showing a lawn area which is made up of green grass, which is also known as dhoop grass. The next is ground cover, refer to the plants that are low growing and effectively cover the soil in place of lawn to cover attractive sites. Ground covers can grow in any areas like shady areas and used to fill bare spots, as we can see in these images. Now moving to the next important thing, that is scopes of growing ornamental plants, because they provide many scopes. Like the first type is the availability of favorable soil and climate. The availability of favorable soil and climate, the different regions of country makes it possible for the production of imported ornamental flower crops almost all through the year in some parts of the country. With the growing facilities of the tree plantation by road soil and air, the availability of flower at different places in the country has now improved, so its scope is also enhanced. The first scope is in the perfume industry. The cultivation of rose and jasmine in the perfume industry, their need in perfumery trade in the cosmetics market and food industry is continuously growing. They also add proper use of wasteland in our country around our houses, colleges, roads, etc. There is a large area of wasteland. These lands are suitable to make ornamental plants. If we take a little care, there is a great scope to make this garden, and this scope or engagement of wasteland can further lead to the foreign currency. In many countries of world, flowers are grown for lacking proper atmospheric condition. So, satisfying our domestic demand, we have a great scope of exploring flowers to these countries. Thus, we have earned foreign currency. Thus, we can earn foreign currency. The growing of ornamental plants also provide solution to unemployment problem. Comparatively, more workers are required in ornamental plant production, so they create a scope of utilizing excess labor that may lead to our unemployment problem. All these will lead to the growth and development of new industry. Many flowers are seasonal, so all the flowers are not found throughout the year. Therefore, to make available all sort of flower throughout the year, the flower processing industry is developed in advanced countries. Recently in our country, processing flowers is getting motion. Growing ornamental plants in garden also add many importance like aesthetic gratification. It makes our mind fresh after a day hard work and gives pleasure to our minds. They also used ornamental plants are used as decoration materials in birthdays, marriages, ceremonies, receptions and get together and farewells. The third importance of the ornamental plants is beautification. Ornamental plants increase the beauty of homes, offices, garden and many other institutions. The next that can used in the poultry feed industries, flowers like marigold is processed to use as feed for poultry birds. They also used for the development of new industry like flowers are normal, so all types of flower are not available throughout the year. Therefore, to make available sorts of flower throughout the year, the flower processing industry is developed in an advanced countries. Recently in our country, the attempts at processing flowers in getting notion. The ornamental plants also used in cosmetics and perfume. So, the ornamental flowers are used in cosmetics, perfumes and scent industries and the food industries. Ornamental plants also improve mental health. The indoor plants can improve mood, reduces stress and fatigue and increase creativity. They can also help you to feel more relaxed and happier. They can add to the landscaping. Outdoor plants can make the environment more attractive and enrich spaces. And these plants can also used to teach students or children. These plants can also used for teaching children. Outdoor plants can be used to teach children about the importance of nature and conservation. Thanks for giving your attention to the lecture. Next, we will learn about the selection of ornamental plants according to different types of garden, which is the main objective for this week in this course. So, this is all for today's session.